It's me, Tela Noella.
The Big Cheese by Jory, John, and Pete Oswald.
Hey guys, it's Tela Noella here, and today we're going to be reading The Big Cheese by Pete Oswald and Jory John. So let's get ready. The Big Cheese. They call me Cheese, the Big Cheese. Oh, say it with me, please. The Big Cheese. Ta-da! You'd better believe it. That's right, folks. I'm the biggest, cheesiest piece of cheddar around. I'm really something to behold. Take a good look at me. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Have you ever observed a more impressive cheese in your life? It's not just my stature either. It's my presence, my vibe, the energy I emanate, the excitement I exude, the way I fill a room, or a theater, or a stadium. Wherever I go, I cause a fuss. Heads turn, jaws drop. Gasps are audible. That's why they call me Cheese. Oh, say it with me, please. The Big Cheese! Ta-da! You'd better believe it. How did I get such a good, or should I say, daughter reputation? Well, I wasn't always a big shot. I grew up on a crowded platter in a tiny kitchen. I was unremarkable little curd. We lived quiet lives of pasteurization. But I wasn't happy with the status quo, or no. I wanted to make a big old name for myself. So I resolved to become a big cheese. I wanted the praise, the cheers, the spotlight, the attention, the ovations, the celebrations. I set to work, and before long, I was on the fast track to success. I dressed to impress, I shredded the competition, I stole every show. And then I'd brag nonstop to anybody who'd listen. Hey, do you see me score that goal while I was literally yawning? What was the secret to my success? Well, I stuck to the things I was good at, the way I couldn't possibly fail. Did it get a little boring? Never trying anything new? I suppose. But it didn't matter as long as everyone agreed that I was, oh, say it with me, please, the Big Cheese! Ta-da! But then, one fateful day, I met Wedge. He was new in town, and he seemed to be my exact opposite in every way. He was quiet. I was loud. He was shy. I was bold. While I was dominated conversations, he kept to himself. I didn't pay much attention at first, because why would I? I was too preoccupied with being the center of my universe. But then, without warning, everything changed. Here's what happened. Every summer, our tiny village stayed an all-day cheese-cathlon. Guess who had first place trophies from the last 6 years? Oh, say it with me, please. The Big Cheese! Ta-da! You'd better believe it. This year's opening ceremony started at 5 a.m. sharp. I was fully primed and prepared to prevail. First up was a foot race, and I zipped into the lead. Within seconds, though, there was someone on my heels. I could hear his breath, the pitter-patter on his agile feet. It was Wedge! I could not believe it! Oh no! Oh, he was fast. Not just fast, but skilled. disciplined. He paced himself. We were neck and neck for most of the race, but when I slipped on a rogue pebble, Wedge swerved, sped up, and beat me by a nose. A cheese nose! For the first time, I'd come in second place. Oh, the indignity! But there was no time to sulk because the next leg of the competition was already started. It was a game of chess. Before I could blink or think, Wedge had taken my king in 4 moves, and while I was busy protesting to the judges, he'd already moved on. Following events were a blur of loss, after humiliating loss. Hat making, shepherding, bread buttering. It turned out that Wedge was quietly excellent at everything. Even when he won, though, he didn't gloat. He was so humble. It was odd. It was disconcerting. It was absolutely baffling. Finally, I watched at dismay as Wedge trounced me one last time, and the day came to a bitter end. Bird calling. Well, better for me at least. I went through every possible emotion. Ugh! Ah! No! Boo! Ah! Till I'd finally exhausted myself. And as I lay in the muck, I'd heard a thunderous voice making the dreaded announcements. First place goes to newcomer Wedge Wedgeman. The crowd roared its approval. What had just happened? It was honestly hard to fathom. I closed my eyes. Suddenly, unacceptably, I felt a sense of calm come over me. I listened to my breathing, to the steady beating of my heart. Yes, I had lost, again, and again, and again. But after all that, I actually felt okay. Relieved even. I suddenly knew that my word wasn't going to crumble. I picked myself up, I dusted myself off, and I headed home. Before too long, I spotted Wedge. He wasn't busy celebrating or bragging. He was just watching the stream go by. He looked content. We chatted for a bit. It turned out that Wedge had a fascinating life story. I found myself getting caught up in a great conversation. A conversation that wasn't all about me. Huh? That day, I realized something. Maybe it didn't matter if I wasn't the best at everything. In fact, perhaps it was healthy for me to lose for once. And sure, my ego was bruised in the short term, but over time, I gave some perspective of what's really important. Losing taught me about empathy and humility. It showed me that I'd become so focused on winning that I was missing out on the joy of participating. And it helped me see that I could live with defeat, even if I get a bit angry or frustrated at first. These days, I'm trying to not worry about whether I win or lose. I don't have to impress everyone all the time. I let others have the spotlight. And I've taken up some new hobbies just for me. Yes, I'm trying to be a better wheel of cheddar. So now when I brag about something, well, I mostly brag about my friends. Whoa, did you just see that? What a move! Because it turns out that anyone from a crumb of Gronzilla to a fleck of Feta to an unassuming wedge of Brie can be. Oh, say it with me, please. The big cheese. Ta-da! 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 You'd better believe it. The end. What type of cheese are you? Thanks for reading along with me, and make sure you subscribe. Bye! It's me, Tela Noella. Stop, Tuna. This year's opening ceremony started at 5 a.m. Oh. You'd better believe it. We heard to Fathom. 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 What had just happened? Thanks for. What type of cheese? Ah!
You can always say that.
I feel like I'm gonna break this book. You better believe it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Good job.